We have the colorful, beautiful and inspiring traditions in Africa that makes us stand out in the world at large. We also have the harmful, negative and dangerous ones. One of such tradition is female genital mutilation or cutting, FGM, which is wrongly called female circumcision. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, FGM is any partial or total removal of the external female genitalia or any other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. WHO classified FGM into 4 types. Type 1 is called clitoridectomy. This is the partial or total removal of the clitoris. In very rare cases, only the prepuce, the fold of the skin surrounding the clitoris, is removed. Type 2. This is the partial or total removal of the clitoris and the labia minora, with or without excision of the labia majora. Note: the labia are the lips surrounding the vagina. Type 3 is called infibulation. This is the most severe form. Besides removing the clitoris, part of the labia minora and majora, which is the inner and outer lip of the female genitalia, is cut or repositioned. The vagina opening or edges is sutured and a little orifice is left for the passage of urine and menstrual blood. Women who had infibulation carried out on them would have to be de-infibulated or cut open again in the future before pregnancy can be possible. Type 4 is called unclassified. It differs from one culture to the other. In some cultures, it involves stretching the labia minora, that is the inner lip. In other cultures, it may involve pricking, piercing, incising the clitoris and labia, stretching the clitoris and or even the labia, burning the clitoris and surrounding tissues, scraping off the tissue surrounding the opening of the vagina, using hot water to numb the clitoris or massage. In Africa, over 3 million girls are estimated to be at risk of FGM annually. In Nigeria, according to the National Demographic Health Survey (NDHS) 2013 report, states with the highest prevalence include Osun with 76.6%, Ebonyi with 74.2%, Ekiti having 72.3%, Imo with 68% and Oyo having 65.6%. FGM is carried out on young girls between infancy and age 15 and occasionally on adult women. 27% of women between the ages of 15 to 49 have been cut. 82% of women in Nigeria undergo FGM before the age of 5. The prevalence of girls and women who have undergone FGM in Nigeria is 25%. It's the third highest absolute number of women and girls who have undergone FGM worldwide after Egypt and Ethiopia. 19.9 million Nigerian women have undergone FGM, more women having undergone FGM in the southern zones than in the northern zones. And surprisingly, 32% of urban women have undergone FGM as compared with 19% rural women. Due to a community dialogue in Osun State, participants found it depressing to even watch a video clip of a baby being cut. Hence, they, through their stakeholders, made commitments to end female genital mutilation.
The summary, based on my experience, is that it is done, 1, to control women's sexuality, 2, to also control reproduction. But if you ask the average person in the community, they will tell you that they're doing it because it's their culture and they want to preserve it. The second reason that will come is because if you don't do it, the woman will become promiscuous.
Some immediate effects of FGM include severe pain, serious bleeding or hemorrhage, infection on the wound or vaginal infection, trauma, problems urinating, urinary tract infection, tetanus and other infectious diseases such as HIV from unsterilized cutting tools, and lastly, death. Other long-term effects include severe pain during sexual intercourse, depression and anxiety, painful and prolonged menstrual periods, prolonged labor and other complications during delivery, urinary problems, vesico-vaginal fistula (VVF) or recto-vaginal fistula (RVF). The origin of FGM is unknown and it predates Christianity or Islam.
Nowhere in the Bible did it include women in the circumcision, and it never happened.
That female genital mutilation and cutting is never part of religious demand. So nothing of such in Islam, and there's nothing of such that should be practiced by the Muslims.
The good news is that social norms do change when circumstances surrounding them change, just like the killing of twins that was stopped decades ago. Young advocates are now standing against FGM in Nigeria. Stakeholders are stepping up their efforts to end FGMC in this generation.
One, there is open discussion about the practice of FGM. Before now, it's a practice that people just don't talk about because it involves the part of an anatomy that people are not comfortable talking about, the female genital parts. So, but with constant dialogue with community members, with constant dialogue with healthcare providers, with constant dialogue with traditional and community leaders, people are now becoming aware that indeed this practice that they thought was positive for the protection of the girl child is actually harmful. And now they are beginning to have a rethink. We have communities that have declared total abandonment of the practice. So I think this is a remarkable achievement in the 3 years of implementing the program at the moment. But we're not there yet. It's still work in progress.
It takes the consistent and committed effort of everyone to insist that education is more important and not mutilation. We must not rest until female genital mutilation and cutting becomes a thing of the past, never to be revisited again. Together, we can and will end female genital mutilation and cutting in this generation.